We talked in an earlier lesson about how to recognize parallel and perpendicular lines, and now we're going to be writing the equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. So what you have to remember is that parallel lines have the same slope. So in this equation that we're going to end up writing, the slope has to be 1/2. So I know immediately that my slope is 1/2. The question then becomes, how do you figure out what the other stuff is? So what we're going to use is that point slope formula that we just recently learned, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And remember, x1 and y1 represent the point. So in this case, x1 is 6 and y1 is 2. So right here, x1 is 6 and y1 is -2. So now I'm going to plug in what I have. Y stays y, and now instead of y1, I'll put -2. M I discovered is 1/2. X stays x, and x1 becomes 6. So now I just do my order of operations. Well, I'll just change that to say y plus 2, so it's simpler for me. So y plus 2, and then I'm going to do what we learned in the last chapter, which is to distribute. So 1/2 times x is 1/2 x, and 1/2 times -6 is -3. I'll drop a line and subtract 2. Y equals 1/2 x minus 5. So these lines are definitely parallel because they have the same slope. So I know that they're parallel. And this line goes through the point 6, -2. If you want to write the equation of a perpendicular line, remember perpendicular lines have negative, I'll abbreviate, reciprocal slopes. So, do you remember what negative reciprocals are? I hope so. Write an equation of the line that passes through -3, 1 and is perpendicular to the line shown in the graph. So let's figure out the equation of the line in the graph. So its slope is, I'll just randomly pick these 2 points, down 4, right 1, and the intercept is at 5. So that's the equation of this line, but I want a perpendicular line. So the negative reciprocal of -4/1 is positive 1/4. Now I need to use my point slope formula and plug in the values. So I'll write the formula first. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now I plug in what I have. And remember, -3 is representing x1, and 1 is representing y1. So y equals minus y1 is -3, so I'll just put +3. It'll make the math easier. Oh, no, it's not +3. It's y minus 1. Sorry. Equals, the slope is 1/4 because it's the negative reciprocal of -4/1. X, and now is +3 because it changes the minus to a plus. So I'll distribute. Y minus 1 equals 1/4 x plus 3/4. Drop a line. Add 1 to both sides. Y equals 1/4 x plus 1 3/4. So that's, I know it looks kind of weird, but that's what we get. If you have any questions, write them down. We will certainly do practice on this when you come to class. And if you have any questions, write them down and ask me when you see me next.